All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to connect three dots that might seem totally separate. A brand new government mission, AI that's literally learning to rewrite itself, and, well, the future of our own minds. This is the story of AI's great acceleration.
The Manhattan Project. Wow. That is a heavy, heavy comparison, right? We're talking about a world-changing effort. And to really get why people are using that kind of language, you have to look at what the government is planning right now.
So, what is this all about? The US government is mobilizing its resources for a single massive goal to completely change how we do science itself. They're not being shy about it. They're calling it a new Manhattan Project.
And it's called the Genesis mission. The idea is simple, but absolutely huge. Imagine connecting all of the country's supercomputers and all of its scientific data into one giant AI brain. And the goal? To solve problems that would normally take decades of research, but to do it in just a matter of days.
This isn't about small, incremental improvements. Genesis is aimed squarely at the biggest challenges we have, from curing diseases to creating limitless clean energy. It's about treating science less like a series of individual lab experiments and more like one gigantic data problem that a powerful enough AI can just solve.
So here's a good way to think about it. The Apollo program, that was about reaching one specific destination, the moon. This is way more like the Manhattan Project, where you reorganize the entire country's scientific and industrial power to create a single game-changing capability. Yeah, the ambition is that big.
Okay, but a vision that massive needs an incredibly powerful engine to make it go, right? Well, it turns out that engine is already being built, and it's being fueled by two breakthroughs that are happening as we speak. This whole thing is accelerating on two fronts at the same time. On one side, you have the AI software, the brain, if you will, and it's getting smarter at a shocking rate. And on the other side, you have the hardware, the brawn, which is just exploding in power and availability. Let's look at the software first. First off, the AI models themselves are getting crazy smart. Take Anthropic's new model, Claude 4.5. It is so good at writing code that it's already outperforming the human engineers who actually built it. Now that is a huge step toward the holy grail of recursive self-improvement, which is basically an AI that's smart enough to build the next even smarter version of itself. And its efficiency is just a total game changer. It gets the same job done, but it uses 76% fewer tokens. You can think of tokens as kind of like the building blocks of its thoughts. So what does that really mean? It means it's not just faster, it's dramatically cheaper to run. And that makes this incredible power accessible to way more people than ever before. Okay, now for the hardware side. For the longest time, one company pretty much owned the AI chip market, but that's over. Now, giants like Google and Amazon are building their own massive infrastructures. This means raw computing power is basically becoming a utility, just like electricity. You don't have to build your own power plant anymore. You just plug into the grid. And the scale of this build-out is just staggering. I mean, these companies are buying up huge areas of farmland and turning them into data centers almost overnight. It's what led one observer to say that we are literally tiling the earth with compute. Okay, so let's recap. We've got way smarter AI and nearly infinite power to run it on. So, what happens when you smash those two things together? Well, you get a complete and total rewrite of our economic rules. Let's talk about the unicorn. A billion-dollar startup. Think about what it takes to build one of those. Seriously, take a guess. How many people do you think you'd need on the payroll to get to $1 billion valuation? A few hundred? Maybe 1,000? How about 0? What if the answer was 0? Because we are standing right on the brink of the first billion-dollar company with no human employees at all, run entirely by autonomous AI agents. This points to a really fundamental shift in our role in the economy. See, it starts with AI taking over labor, but then it becomes the entrepreneur, identifying needs and creating businesses all on its own. So what's left for us? Well, we become the investors, directing fleets of these AI companies. Just try to imagine a world where your main job isn't to work, but to manage your portfolio of AI. This great acceleration is obviously changing our world and our economy, but the final frontier, the next big step, it's not external, it's internal. All this incredible progress in AI and computing is now starting to point inward, aimed at augmenting the human brain itself. There's a new race heating up to build brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, and it is moving incredibly fast.
I mean, just look at these numbers. New companies like Paradigmics are already showing data speeds 20 times faster than the early players. And this isn't just some theory in a lab. They're already approved for human trials. This is happening right now. This kind of rapid progress puts us on a trajectory that, until very recently, felt like pure science fiction. If data rates keep improving like this, the idea of having high-speed, direct brain interfaces by the 2030s suddenly seems very plausible. And, that opens the door to even more radical long-term ideas, like the whole concept of mind uploading by the middle of the century.
So, this is where it all comes together. We've gone from a national mission to rewrite science, to an AI that improves itself, to an economy run by bots, to technology that could connect directly to our brains. It's all happening at once. We've somehow managed to start solving for intelligence itself, without ever fully understanding our own. And that leaves us with the really profound question, the most important question of our time. What happens next? So,